Okay, we're going to look at the average daily balance method of credit card interest calculation. So the difference between this method and the unpaid balance method is here every single day and what the balance is on every single day matters, and not just what the balance is at the end of the month. So this is a rather simplified credit card statement. On August 1st, there was a carried over balance of $356.75. On August 7th, a purchase was made. On August 12th, another purchase was made. On August 18th, a payment was made. And on August 24th, some more purchases were made. What we have to do is figure out what the balance was at the end of every single day. And then what we're going to do is average all of the daily balances and find an average daily balance. So the way that you do that, of course, is you add up the balance for each day and divide by the number of days that there are. Okay, so to do that a little faster, from August 1st through August 6th, the balance was $356.75. So we're just going to say how many days we were at each balance. As of August 7th, we made $59.95 in purchases. That made the balance $416.70. It was that balance for 5 days until August 12th, when we made some more purchases and increased the balance to $640.45. For 6 days until August 18th, when we made a $200 payment and reduced the balance to $440.45. Then it was that for 6 days until August 24th, when we made some more purchases and increased the balance to $593.25. And is that balance for 8 days. Now, the number one thing that people mess up is this very last calculation right here. First off, there are 31 days in August. And secondly, 31 minus 24 is not 8. It's 7. But from August 24th to August 31st, there are 8 days. My advice to you is to make sure when you're done that you add all these up, 11, 17, 23, 31, and it should add up to the right number of days in the month. Don't worry, I will remind you how many days are in whatever month I ask you about. Okay, so we've done number 3 and number 4 by finding the balances on each of these days and then finding how many days you had that balance. So basically what we're going to do now is compute a weighted average like we did in the last chapter. We're going to multiply this by 6, and this by 5, and this by 6, and this by 6, and this by 8, and add them all up, and then divide by 31, the sum of all of these. So basically we're multiplying by the weights and dividing by the sum of the weights, just like we did previously. So that's what happens on the next page. These are multiplied and added up. If we divide that by the number of days in August, we have gotten our average daily balance. That is the balance that we're going to get charged interest on for the next month, $498.56. So, our finance charge, we were at a 1.8% interest rate. So here that's $8.97. And our new ending balance would be whatever we ended up here, $593.25. Plus $897, which is $602.22. So that's what we would get on our next statement. Okay. I would like you to try did you get it problem number 5 and bring that to class on a piece of paper. You can check the answers to that back on the portfolio page. The answers are back here on page 123. So go ahead and do that. You can either come back and do that after you finish the video, or you can pause and do that now and check your answers and then keep going with the video. Okay, we're going to finish out this section. So we're going down to page 121. Suppose you have a $2,300 balance on a credit card with an interest rate of 1.25% per month, and the minimum payment for any month is 2% is the interest plus 2% of the principal balance, or $5, whichever is higher. If you don't make any more purchases on that card and make a minimum payment for 6 months, how much will you pay down the balance? Let's find out. So the neat thing about this is that you're always paying whatever the interest is, which we don't really care about here for this problem. But also, hold on, my dogs are going crazy. Okay, sorry. Had to remove the dogs from the room. But you're paying 2% of that every single month. So, basically what that says is our balance is decreasing by 2% every single month. With that said, that's why we don't need to worry about calculating whatever the amount of interest is, because whatever it is, we have to pay that, right? And this is something that kind of legally was changed a few years ago. There used to be just standard minimum payments, like $25. Well, if $25 didn't cover the interest amount, then your bill would go up even though you made the payment. So now it's actually required that credit card companies charge you enough of a minimum payment to cover your interest plus some of the principal. And for this card, it's your interest plus 2% of the principal. So number 10, what we really need to know is that our balance is going to go down by 2% each month, so we can use that to find the balance after 1 month. Well, that means it's going to go down by 2%, so we have 98% of it left. 98% of 2,300 is 2,254. Now, if we keep doing that, we can work our way down to 6 months and just keep taking 98%. If we were sneaky, we could do this as an exponential function. So we started at $2,300, and we are really just multiplying by 0.98 over and over and over and over again. So if I wanted to do 6 months really quickly, I could just do 2,300 times 0.98 to the 6th. That's 2,037.44, which is the same number the book got. Okay? Then number 12, just make a guess. How long do you think it would take to pay off the full balance at this rate? Discuss, then ask your instructor to give their thoughts on this question. Well, my guess is that it's going to take freaking forever. So let's just actually look at it a little bit. Let's go 12 months. Sorry, having a little calculator trouble. There's 12 months. Here we're down to $1,800. Let's go 24 months. We're down to $1,400. This bill is not going anywhere. Let's go 100 months. We're now at over 8 years. We still owe $300. Actually, this is where things change a little bit, because at some point here, it switches from 2% to $5. So we have to be a little bit careful with this. Actually, this is going to get a little complicated. At what point do we need to start changing what we're doing? Well, let's see. I want to know when 2% becomes less than $5, and then I have to stop billing this the way that we are. So I think that's going to happen once my bill gets down to $250. Because right now, 0.02 times 250, that would be $5. So out here at 100 months, we're down to a $305 balance. So let's go a few more months and see when we get under 250. And we're still not there. Okay, somewhere in here. I'm going to say it happened right there, month 110. So if you take month 110 divided by 12, we're out here at 9 years and 2 months, and now we're down to where we have to start paying $5 a month every time. Well, if you take 249 and divide by 5, that's going to require another 50 months. So basically, the short answer to this is that in 110 months, we got down to where we start paying $5 at a time, which we're going to do for 50 months. So we paid this off in 160 months. Now, I don't expect you to be able to do this calculation. That's not required. But what I do expect you to do is not try to pay your credit card off this way. We didn't even have that much money on here. It was $2,300. But just making the minimum payments, it's going to take us 160 months to do that. 160 months divided by 12, that's 13 years and 4 months. That is ridiculous. Now, another thing, that number is not going to change much even if the balance is shorter, or if the balance is less. If you took 500.98 to the 50th, well, that got us there a little faster. But it's still going to take a really long time, even at $500. Let's see, 0.98 to the, let's see, the 40th. Okay, so probably something like the 36th. Okay. The 34th. Yeah, so somewhere around 35 months to get to $250, and then if we went with the $5 payments after that, that's another 30. It's still going to take us over 60 months or over 5 years just to pay off $500. Right? So no matter what your credit card balance is, just making the minimum payments, you're never going to pay the thing off. Or at least it will take you 5 to 14 to 50 years, depending on how big of a balance you have on there. Okay, so your job for me, you have 2 of them. Your first job is to do this did you get it problem and make sure you can do the average daily balance. That's an important thing that I want you to be able to do. And your second job is going to be to tackle problems number 1 and problem number 2 and problem number 3 on page 124. And yep, you can see the answer to problem number 1, but once again, I want you to practice being able to enter that in the calculator. Make sure you can get that answer. This goes back to that monthly payment formula that we had in class today. Okay. So if you can bring those in on Wednesday next week, problems 1, 2, and 3 from page 124, and this did you get it problem back on page 121, we will collect those and score some points for those. And then we'll be moving on to section 2.6. All right, thank you. Have a good day.